United States of America ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, has called for further talks between the U.S. government and the government of Ghana following the 10% tariff on imports from Ghana and several other countries. The new tariff policy to take effect this week has sparked concern within Ghana's private sector, with industry expects warning of its potential to negatively impact exports and government revenue. Already, some countries have responded to this. China is imposing a 34% tax on goods from US, while those in Canada are demanding that goods from US be removed from all shops in that country. Now, in response here in Ghana, President Mahama directed the finance minister to take urgent steps to address the potential revenue shortfall. The foreign affairs minister, Samuel Ablakwa, invited the US ambassador to Ghana to a meeting today. After that meeting, the US ambassador to Ghana reiterated the need for continued engagement to explore mutually beneficial solutions.
Well, I had a great meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and we talked about how the relationship with Ghana is very strong and how we can keep it going that way. And the sort of details of what these global tariffs are, and some things where the United States and Ghana can improve our trade relations. Well, I hope that it means that Ghana will have some benefit vis-a-vis its competitors, but we'll dig in and continue to talk. The minister and I are good friends.
So that's the U.S. ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, after that meeting with the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Ablakwa, earlier today. Now, there's a communique from the Foreign Affairs Ministry that just came in. Let me read to you that statement verbatim. It says, the ambassador of the United States of America, Her Excellency Virginia Palmer, today honored an invitation from the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Samuel Ablakwa, to discuss the imposition of the 10% tariff by the United States of America on Ghana effective 5th April 2025. The Deputy Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Honorable Samson Ahi, and other officials from his ministry joined the meeting at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The U.S. ambassador indicated that the tariff did not maliciously target Ghana, but was intended to address the significant trade imbalances between the USA and its partners such as Ghana. The ambassador, however, informed that the tariff is being imposed pursuant to the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977. That's the IEEPA. She further intimated that the 10% tariff imposition exempts some products like oil and gas and energy-related products that Ghana exports to the United States. It emerged that the products exported under the African Growth and Opportunity Act, that's AGOA, initiative are affected. The meeting additionally discussed the possible exemption of other sectors, particularly with cocoa and garment. Both sides agreed to work together to mitigate challenges, including potential job losses. The Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Agribusiness and Industry would continue to engage the USA authorities on how to mitigate and alleviate the effect of the tariff on Ghanaian businesses and the Ghanaian economy generally through bilateral and diplomatic means. Ghana and the US affirmed their strong and cordial relations. And this is from the Foreign Affairs Ministry on the outcome of today's meeting. Well, there's been some planned meeting. The African Continental Free Trade AfTA Secretariat has announced plans to formulate a coordinated economic response to this new wave of tariffs imposed by the United States on selected African exports. At a press briefing held at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, AfTA Secretary General Wankelemene expressed concern over the potential impact on the decision on key exports such as textiles, agribusiness, and rare materials.
The President of the United States has given us a wake-up call, and the wake-up call is that we must accelerate our own economic self-sufficiency. The Ministers of Trade will meet on the 14th of April to deliberate on this matter and exactly how our continent should respond. We will continue to pursue that trade and investment partnership that is based on mutual respect and mutual benefits. And this is what we agreed to with Ambassador Tai, the then US Trade Representative. We obviously will not be in a position to condone or support America first and everybody else last. That is not a partnership that is within the spirit of the MOU that we have with the United States. We will pursue what is in Africa's best interests, not last interests, but best interests, as we seek a path forward in respect of AGOA, combined with some of the trade instruments that we have introduced, as well as the overall liberalization objective of the AFCFTA. I believe that we are well positioned as a continent to turn this crisis into an opportunity.
So that's one Kalameni. He is the AFTA Secretary General. Now, let's go on the phone lines and speak to Dr. Joseph Obeng. He is the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Also, joining us on the line is the ranking on the Trade and Industry Committee of Parliament. Michael Ochebefi has joined us on the line. Good evening to you. Thank you very much, Honorable, for your time tonight on 505.
Hello.
Hello, Honorable. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Fantastic. Grateful for your time this evening on 505 as we're discussing this 10% imposition of tariff on Ghana products. Now, some countries have already started retaliating. In Canada, for instance, some of the people are angry. They want all the shops that have goods from US removed. Also, in China, there's a 34% increase on US imported goods. Here in Ghana, people are saying something should be done. The committee, you have responsibility, you have oversight. What is the committee doing to ensure that there's some respite for Ghanaian businesses who are going to suffer from this?
Right. Thanks so much for the opportunity. I guess, this one has a lot of implications if you don't handle it well. I mean, we're talking about America. America, the biggest economy in the world now, and very important as far as diplomacy is concerned. So we have to be extremely, careful in handling this issue. In the first place, we should also note that America over the years has given us concession through the African Growth and Opportunity Act. I don't know whether you know about AGOA.
Yes, AGOA, I do. AGOA products are going to be affected.
Yes. So AGOA, it has been there. It is a non-reciprocity agreement. So it means that America is just giving us that leverage without anything from Ghana getting it. They are just allowing us to export to their market duty-free, quota-free. Note that Ghana has already imposed tax on American goods that are exported to the local market from America. It's 17% tariff on it already. So it is something that America have been doing for us for free. And we anticipated that the time will come, America may take this action, or may decide not to go ahead to give us that free bit again. But then they will take action. So what we're expecting Ghana to do immediately. For me, I gave some recommendations to the government. The first one that I want to look at is taking full advantage of the African Continental Free Trade. I mean, we cannot do anything about that. Now, African Continental Free Trade Agreement is now the biggest customs union in this jurisdiction. And it gives us the opportunity to trade with 55 African countries duty-free, quota-free. Note that whatever America will expect from our market may also be expected or be needed in other parts of Africa. So if you're able to take full advantage of African Continental Free Trade, we may be able to, prevent job losses and other things that may have consequential effect on as far as this imposition is concerned. Because now, the meaning is that the 10% imposition tax means clearly that Ghanaian products that are exported to the U.S. market are going to be very competitive. They are going to face state competition because now they are not just going to enter the market duty free. So they are going to also add some monies. I mean, the duty payments on the product, which is going to make the product expensive. So it's going to find it very difficult to compete in the market, which ultimately may affect the beginning of the line, from the production line. In this case, there will be job losses. Example, a company like DTRT that manufactures garments and export 100% to the American market through Agua, for example. If they are not able to compete well, now DTRT in Ghana is employing 6,000 workers. If they are not able to compete well and therefore they need to reduce the number of export they do, it means that a lot of people are going to be laid off. Lay off. That's exactly what we are talking about. And I believe that we should be able to do something immediately. Secondly, there should be some artificial injection of some serious funds into the market to help exporters. Because without that, the exporters will not have the financial strength and muscles to be able to do business and even export more. Note that the industrial sector holds the economy. And so if you are not able to produce more and export more to get more foreign exchange to help us, it will be very difficult for our economy to be sustained, and also it will also create a lot of unnecessary shocks into our economy, which will affect us a great deal. So I believe that we should look at all these things so that we'll be able to help the Ghanaian exporter and the manufacturer who exports to the U.S. market.
There's a meeting impending this week for AFTA. They are going to do that. The trade ministers are going to sit down and do that. But your first point, after taking full advantage, the question is, how are we taking full? How do we do it? How do we take full advantage of AFTA?
So that's what we did. I mean, when we were in office, intentionally, we decided to do what we call the guided trade arrangement. You know, Ghana is the only country in the 55 African countries operating within the African Continental Free Trade that has a dedicated office called the National Coordination Office to make sure that we intentionally help local exporters and manufacturers to be able to send products or sell in other countries in Africa. We did this through what we call the guided trading arrangement, where we pick some manufacturers and small-scale business owners and exporters and take them on a trip to countries like Tanzania and Kenya, and match them with people who will be interested in their products so that they will start trading. There should be an intentional arrangement, because you know, one of the things that people are not realizing, that we are talking about a market size of over 2 billion people. We are talking about a combined GDP of almost about $5 trillion US dollars, and this is very phenomenal. So we have to take full advantage by making sure that intentionally we help our exporters to trade in other parts of Africa, so that we will take full advantage of the benefits that will come under the African Continental Free Trade.
The artificial injection of funds, where are we going to get the money from? Which countries are going to contribute? That should be
the prerogative of the government. You know, in this budget that the government submitted, there was no intentional arrangement to sustain industry in the budget. You know, the government through this budget abolished the 1D, 1F support. But government didn't intentionally give support to replace to take care of industrialization and the industrial sector. They only brought a policy that they call feed the industry. But there were no serious budgetary allocations for this feed the industry arrangement, which is not too good. We have to intentionally help the industrial sector to grow. But that's the only way they can even work to get some good benefit under their 24-hour economic policy they want to bring. Because the 24-hour economy can only thrive on industry and industrialization. That is the only way out. And so government must intentionally support industry to succeed, so that they'll be able to produce more and export more to get more foreign exchange for the country.
Now, there's a press statement that has come from the Foreign Affairs Ministry following their engagement with the U.S. ambassador to Ghana earlier today. They say that they know that certain aspects have been omitted or exempted That's oil and gas and also energy related products. They are not part of the 10% tariff. However, we know that there are others that are going to be affected. So they are also engaging or continuing engagement to ensure that they mitigate these effects on Ghanaian businesses and then the entire economy. They also make sure that even garments and others are not affected. Do you think that these engagements are going to yield positive results?
For me, as I said, the only way out is for us to intentionally take a decision to help the economy. Because America has taken, this is an order. The president has taken a decision, and the American people are happy with the decision.
They say they're only implementing the International Emergency Economic Powers Act that has been there since 1977.
Yes, that's what we need to realize is that America was only doing us a favor. The 35 sub-Saharan African countries that were benefiting from AGOA were only benefited. It's like America extending ex gratia arrangement to these countries. Because it was this policy is a non-reciprocity policy or agreement. Other agreements, trade agreements like UK Ghana trade agreement, European Union trade agreement. These are all reciprocity agreements. So Ghana, the country benefits, Ghana also benefit. But in this case, we have already imposed taxes on American product that comes to the Ghanaian market, 17%. But America was not charging us any tariff. So we anticipated that the time will come, they will take the decision. That's why I'm saying that we need to empower our companies. Now, immediately, we take action now. If we don't take action now, a lot of the companies will collapse or fold out because they will not be able to compete in the American market. And that's where they get their business. I cited an example for you. This company, for example, that I cited, DTIT, they export 100% duty-free, quota-free to the U.S. market. And they deal with the big brands in America. Now, the meaning of this imposition is that they are going to pay taxes, and which means that they are also going to now put the taxes, that amount on the product, which means that the product is going to be a little expensive, and it will be very difficult to compete in the normal market because they may not be able to compete with China and other players like Bangladesh that bring textiles to American market that don't benefit from this arrangement. So we need to do something immediately to save our economy. Else, if government doesn't take care, or we don't take serious measure, it will create a lot of unemployment in the system.
Honorable Michael Trebefi, we are very grateful that you joined us. We'll see how this goes in the coming days. That's the Member of Parliament for New Job in South, ranking on the Trade and Industry Committee of Parliament. We still have on the line President of the Ghana Union Association of Teachers, Dr. Joseph Obing. Dr. Obing, grateful for your patience on the line. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for your time. Doc, can you hear me?
Good evening, I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. And so I'm sure you've listened to some of the solutions coming from Michael Trebefi, the Honorable Member for New Job in South, the ranking on the Trade and Industry Committee. To him, two things. We have to take intentional decisions, take full advantage of AFTA, invest heavily or inject financial support for the local manufactured products so that they can also make some money and then cut off job losses. Guta, what do you think this 10% tariff is going to affect your members and then the way forward as well?
Yeah. So all that we are hoping now is for government to be able to negotiate and to have some results for the exporters. Otherwise, like all of us are expecting, it's going to be competition as usual. But I want to look at it from this way, that if we are not successful in this engagement, what are we going to do? Because business is about competition. U.S. created the access for most African countries through the AGOA to build their capacity so that they can be competitive. And then for how long? I think it has been there. And if this should happen, what we have to do is to assess the market, hence, and to know how the demand of our product in that destination is, the availability of those products, our competitor base. And then we look at the pricing and then come here and see how we can support the local exporter to prevail upon this situation. Otherwise, we are not going to say that once America is going to be adamant and do not remove this tax or levy, we are not going to trade with America at all. Is that what we are going to say? So I'm praying that we are able to get Donald Trump to listen to our plight, not only Ghana, maybe for the generality of African countries, and then give us the opportunity to grow a little more as they have given us this opportunity. Because the Agua project is not only for all the countries, it's only limited for African countries. And so if we are able to push that argument across for him to allow Africa to have a little more time to build our capacity and grant us that. But the choice is for America, and so it is not ours. So that's why I'm also thinking that if they do not grant us that, are we going to say that we are not going to trade with America? No. So what we have to do now is also let some of the distributors, because after all, they are talking about duty. They are also paying duty the same way we pay duty for other products when we buy from China, America, Europe, and elsewhere. And that's what they are also demanding from their citizens to pay. So this is not going to be, if the demand is there, the 10% is not going to be borne by the trader. Definitely it's going to be absorbed by the American citizens. But what I want us to see is how the demand of this product, the availability of this product in America, they were smart to take some of the very essential products from the list.
Yes, oil and gas and energy.
Exactly. And the aluminium, copper, and those things that they will need to feed their industries. So we should still pursue this negotiation. If they grant us, then it will be good for us. But then it should be an eye-opener for us that this assets that they've created for us is not going to be there forever, and that we have to start preparing. And that's why people are thinking about the other alternatives like continental free trade. That's not other alternatives. It is for us to make use and make the necessary advantages that we have. Okay. So the continental free trade is already there for us. The other markets, the other destinations are just supplementary.
The EU markets and others. Can't we also take full advantage of that?
We have to take. I mean, trading does not know boundaries. Trading is not limited to just particular one destination. So whatever you get access, that's where you go. And that's why if one country is blocking the access, it becomes a worry. So it does not know boundaries. Once one boundary is closed, you discover another, and then you move on in business. But what I'm saying is that if America become adamant, they do not remove this 10%, what shall we do? Are we saying that we are not going to do business with them at all? No. So much as we are negotiating, we are doing all these things, we should also call on the exporters to that country to evaluate the effect of this 10%, and then also know the demand of these products and all that. If you're able to do that and also know their competitors, then we also strategize, see how we can support them for their price to become affordable. It's all about affordability. If our price is affordable, it can absorb some of the 10%, and then it can still enter that market.
This is really, really interesting. There are certain countries that have already started retaliating. China, for instance, as a response to Donald Trump's percentage of tariff, they've decided to impose 34% tariff on all goods that are coming from the United States. Canada say they are not going to buy goods from US. So they are calling on the government to ensure that the shops that are selling all US products are removed, because they also got some of that tariff. It looks like this is going to lead to a trade war. We know already that the markets are dropping due to what is going to happen. The ripple effect will be on African countries and Ghanaians as well. What do we do?
Wow. What is the ripple effect? The ripple effect being that we are not self-sufficient. So all that we have to do and to be thinking that in the wake of this thing, how do we develop our very selves to become self-sufficient? It's as simple as that. And so these trade wars that we are talking about, I think sometimes there's no fairness even there. What did Donald Trump say when he started doing this? He said that other countries have taken advantage of them, and that they were also thinking about industrializing, letting their people produce in their country and all that. So it's a policy of state to also help their country. And so he mentioned other countries charging tariffs
and all that.
Retaliating. Mm-hmm.